This is a short video to introduce you to changing your S3 profile. First thing you can do is go to the school website, and there, underneath the pupils menu, you'll find a link to Glow. Our website tells you a little bit about what Glow is all about, and on the right hand side there is a link to the Glow website. On the Glow website you have to put in your username, and for third year pupils it usually begins GW10 followed by your second name followed by your first name. There may be some differences between some pupils, and you can check with your teacher if that's the case. The next thing to put in is obviously your password, and your teacher can either give you that, or if you've already changed it, just enter it yourself. Then click Login. This will take you to the main Glow Light web page, and from there you can click on My Stuff and then on My Blogs. This will open up a new menu which will take you to the option to edit your S3 profile. You start off by clicking on the word Visit underneath your name, and this will take you to your S3 profile homepage. On this page you can obviously start just editing the All About Me part, and you would do that by clicking on the edit button. But the first thing I want you to do is to go to My Profile, and that takes you to another page where you're going to enter the personal details and some other pieces of information that you would use when you're completing your S3 profile. This is a page that will eventually print off when you get to the end of S3. We're going to start by filling in these boxes here, and to do that you click on the very small star which is just to the left of where it says put your name here or replace this with your date of birth. If you click on that, it'll take you to this page, and this is a post about your name that we're going to have to edit. Click on Edit here, and then quite simply put your name exactly where it tells you to. So Lewis is going to put his name in here, and then he's going to go all the way over to Update. And when he clicks on Update, that will change that part of the profile. Let's go back to the site and then go back to your profile, and you can see it's changed it to Lewis Mitchell. You would then go on and complete the other 5 sections in the same way. Going back to your original page, what we need to start looking at is adding posts, because the posts that you write are the things that are going to make a difference when you're coming to create that profile. You'll notice on the profile that there are spaces for a learner statement, achievements, skills, and goals and aspirations. And by posting regularly in your S3 profile and on your blog, you should be able to complete these sections with ease. So let's have a look at an example where Lewis has completed some work in school and he wants to write about it on his blog. What you'll do is you will add a post, and this takes you back to a familiar window. When you got a new post, you have to give the post a title. Now in this particular post we're going to write about something that Lewis has taken part in. He took part in an assembly all about remembrance in November. So we have to give a title to this post, so let's add remembrance. You make sure we can spell it properly. Remembrance Assembly. And in this box we're going to write about exactly what happened on that occasion. I had been asked to take part in an assembly about remembrance. I took part several others, we produced a small script. I was nervous at first, but soon got used to it. Lewis will probably want to write more than I've written, but this is just as an example. There is a spell checker built into it, so don't forget to check your spelling whenever you've typed something up. Just like in your word processing programs, a little red line will appear under words that it thinks are incorrect. You simply right click on the word and choose the proper replacement. Now once you've written your post, there's two other things I need you to do. One is to post tags onto that post, and one is to change categories. Now the tags are there to connect that post to the kind of things that are happening on that particular occasion. So for instance, we'll probably want to put in a tag about remembrance. We'll probably also want to add a tag about confidence. You can add as many tags as you like to that post, making sure you put a comma in between each one. Simply click on add and those two tags will appear. If there are already tags you've previously created, you can click on this option and see the ones that you've already used before. There's nothing in there at the moment, although I suppose you could click on achievements. The next thing I need you to do is to have a look at categories. Now the categories are all connected to the skills for life, learning and work that we spoke about at an assembly. So anytime you're involved in anything inside or outside of school that builds on your skills for life, learning and work, then you can simply attach those categories here. So Lewis showed some leadership in leading an assembly. He also was working with others. He also developed his literacy skills because he was working on a script. So let's have a look at this. We have our post, we have our tags, and we have our categories. Once you're happy with what you've selected, simply click on Publish. If you want to see what changes have happened on the site, then you can view the post here. And there's your Remembrance Assembly post. It developed skills in leadership, literacy and working with others, and it was tagged with achievements, confidence and remembrance. Now this is going to become really useful as you start to complete your profile, because you can look at all the posts that were to do with leadership or all the posts that were to do with working with others, and that will let you build up a picture that lets you complete the sections I was speaking about earlier. The learner statement, the achievements, the skills and the goals and aspirations. You can see that the post which was tagged as achievements has been added to this section. So anytime you tag a post about learner statement, achievements, skills or goals and aspirations, it will appear in this part of your profile. So let's think about what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to create a profile which is all about you. Your mentor will give you a hand as we're working on this through the day and through next week when we're trying to do our ICT time and make best use of it. All you're doing is you're writing posts that will go into your profile. When you add a post, you tell us about what you've been doing, give the post a title, add some tags to it, perhaps looking at the ones that are already in existence, and adding some categories. And that really is what we want to do for now. Everything you do in school and out, you should write about on your blog. Then when we come to the end of S3, you should have a perfect profile to show to the world.